Cicero, Epistulae Ad Atticum, Episode 3.
Quod ad me scribis de sorora tua, testis erdrit tibi ipsa quantae mihi curdere fuerit, ut quinti fratris animus in eam esset, isqui esse deberet. This portion of Cicero's letter is fairly easy to translate, but there are some interesting grammatical constructions to consider. He begins with a relative clause. Quod is a relative pronoun in the neuter, singular, and accusative, as it is the object of scribis. The thing which you write to me, ad me, about your sister, de sorora tua. Ad me and de sorora tua are two prepositional phrases, which have been separated by the verb. Good Latin style does not pile up prepositional phrases one against another. As to what you write to me about your sister, now how should we construe this quod clause? I'm taking it according to Gildersleeve and Lodge 525.2 as an explanatory quod that is explaining an implied demonstrative. And they suggest translating it as whereas, and I think that's a good idea, a good suggestion. Whereas you write to me about your sister. We come next to the main clause of the sentence and the main verb, which is erit. All the other verbs are subordinate, and in fact we have 4 subordinate clauses. We have quod, quantae through fuerit, the ut clause, which has esset as its verb, and then this final subordinate clause, qui esse deberet. So as regards what you are writing me about your sister, testis erit. She herself will be for you a witness. So a witness will be, taking it in the given order, for you, she herself. Ipsa is feminine, singular, and nominative, and it refers to the woman named Pomponia. She is the sister of Titus Pomponius Atticus, to whom Cicero is sending this letter, and she is the wife of Marcus Cicero's brother, Quintus. She herself will be to you a witness. Tibi, masculine singular dative, and refers to Atticus. So she will be a witness as to how much care quantae curae I had, mihi fuerit. Quantae is feminine, singular, and genitive. It's an interrogative adjective and one of quantity. It modifies curae. Mihi is a dative in the masculine and singular, and it refers to Cicero himself. The verb fuerit is perfect subjunctive, and it is subjunctive because this is an indirect question, interrogatio obliqua. How much concern there was to me, or how much care I had, that is what she will testify to. Now, in the dative of possessor construction, and I have identified mihi as a dative of possessor, there are 3 elements. There is, first of all, the subject, which is typically nominative. Then there is the possessor, which is dative. And then there is a form of the verb esse connecting them together. So the dative of possessor mihi is evident, and the verb fuerit is evident as well. But where is the subject? I think that it is this ut clause. That the mind, animus, the attitude, the spirit, the intention of my brother Quintus, that it was toward her in eam, and eam is Pomponia, that it was toward her, it was my great care, that his mind toward her be that which it was supposed to be, is qui esse deberet. The antecedent of qui is is, and is a demonstrative modifying animus. The subject of deberet then is qui, and it has reference to animus, as I've said, that his mind be that which it was supposed to be. So why is esset subjunctive? I'm interpreting this ut clause according to Gildersleeve and Lodge 557 as an explanatory ut clause. It is a substantive clause that depends upon the idea implicit in curae. For this episode, I have given the Gildersleeve and Lodge grammar references. These clauses can be interpreted in different ways, and the serious student is encouraged to research that for himself or herself. Finally, what we have here is the front page of an early edition of Cicero's letters from 1544, published in Venice.